Hi, I'm Willow O'Brien of WillowLovesYou.com, and I want to talk to you about today. Hi, my little thumb over here. um, I want to talk to you about goals and ultimately about the things that you want to create in your life and where you want to spend some time and what you want to see shift or change in your life. And it dawned on me today, actually, as I was getting ready. I am very clear about my goals in my life and where I'm wanting to shift things this year, right? And so for me, so here I am, I'm a business coach and I have been growing my business and I absolutely love serving my clients, and I'm really, really excited to actually take all the work that I did last year and serve more people with the new programs that I've created and such. I also really, really want to focus on my nutrition and my physical health this year more than ever. I had so much fun last year, finally being able to be close to a beach and be able to do stand-up paddleboard and go swimming in the ocean and just play more in my bikini and like have so much fun. And that was so awesome last year, and I totally loved it. And at the same time, I live in this huge city and it's a concrete jungle, and sometimes it's either too hot in the summer, certainly to go running, not like San Francisco where it was so easy just to hop out the door any time of year pretty much and go for a run. So I was really big into my running. I haven't done it for a long time, and so this year I'm really wanting to ramp that up in my life. And I was just thinking today, I was noticing how it's so interesting because in business, I am feeling so confident about the work that I do. I'm always a little bit like hesitant to say that because there's no doubt that, there's things I'm still learning, of course. I'm still a work in progress, but I do feel for the most part really, really good and confident about being able to say that my coaching work is so much better, obviously, than it was a couple years ago. You know, we grow and we evolve, and so it's really improved, and I just feel really excited about the work that I'm doing now. So I feel really confident in business. I know how to grow a business. I take big leaps, big risks, like that I can do with my eyes closed, truly. Like it really is a superpower of mine to launch things into the world and do that and be bold in that way. And I was thinking today how fascinating it is how vulnerable and insecure I feel, not in my body. I love my body. I feel great in my clothes. I feel like I look great, but I just want to be stronger. And so it's that little like kind of underlying layer that is where I'm afraid I'm going to go to a class and I'm going to just like, be too weak or get worn out or, be clumsy, or I don't know, like it's just funny. Like there's just these like unknowns for it, and for me, and also that I'm selective, like I want to make sure obviously that it's what I want to be doing. So, I can go to like any old class, but it doesn't mean I'm going to like it, or any like boot camp or CrossFit. And I may not like it. I may not like the people there. But I know my business. I know being able to do my own yoga practice in my home, like that I can do really, really well. But I also know that in order for me to improve myself beyond the level that I am now, then that requires me to ask for support. It requires me to step out of my comfort zone and call in support of someone else. So I can do all my piece, which is, I actually even start it with kind of what I want to invite in. So for example, in my goal, I'll share this lens and you can look through whatever lens is right for you. But for my goal this year, I've just really been calling in that I know I'm going to be finding some really fun playmates, or I'll find like a great coach who I love being able to go work out with, and that they're just right for me, right? Like they're not going to be too like sergeant or too meathead or who knows what, right? Like all the fears that want to say that I'm never going to find somebody great. So I first do my work of like calling it in, like, okay, universe, I'm open to meeting this awesome new person that's going to be my great partner in fitness this year, or even somebody that is a nutritionist or into that, but is not going to like be too eating disorder, weird control food that's like too much, right? So all these things are really delicate, and I want to find something great. Well, I have to be willing to step out of my comfort zone and start, experimenting, and so that's kind of been my invitation for myself. As much as I like just like the the ease of working out in my own home. I also really know that it's going to be really fun for me to meet people out and, meet other people and be outdoors doing fun things, or, doing a class that I never thought I would love, but that I end up loving it, or things like that, right? And it has to show me, as my boyfriend always says, like, I'm kind of a prove it girl, where I'll be like, I don't know if I like that. And then I'll get into it and I'm like, I love it. And so just sharing with you, like, we will always gravitate towards what we know. We will always go towards what we know. We'll always keep doing the things that we know. And so when it comes to wanting to change our lives or step into something new, it can feel very, very scary because it's uncharted territory. We don't know it, and we don't know. We are not as strong in that area. So, for example, with business, like I know business. I help people birth their businesses. I help them step into their big ideas. And in particular, I help them with the scary emotional side of it. All the fear that wants to come up, all the lizard brain that wants to tell you that you're going to fail or you suck or who do you think you are, all that stuff is so normal, and I know it so well, and I love supporting people through that. So I'm, and even in my calling in, right, of who I'm going to find, I know that I'm going to find somebody who is as equally like aware and compassionate. Like my lizard brain wants to be like, oh, I'm going to find a coach who's like, that's dumb, you're out of shape and like, judgy or whatever. And it's like, of course not. There's so many very, very compassionate. That's why they're in the business that they're doing, is because they've seen so many people want to change their lives in this positive way, but feel scared and not know where to start. So I know I'll find that person, but it was just fascinating, like I said, to notice how we can feel so confident in some areas of our lives. And then if we have these big goals or wanting to shift or change something, that there's nothing more powerful than calling in the support of somebody that's what they do. That's what they know. And so for me to remind myself, like, okay, I know business. Of course, that's what I'll gravitate to all the time. That's why I will often work and not work out, because I know work. I know how to succeed in that. I feel great in that. And I love helping others in that way. And so it's really a great reminder for me to remember that, to be the student, which I am in many areas of my life, obviously, as you can see, like I'm using this example, my own vulnerable example, but just remembering that it's so normal in the beginning of every single thing that you're wanting to do in your life, that it is different. If you are wanting something more, wanting something to shift and change, that it is so completely normal that at the beginning it feels very vulnerable. It feels very, there's that insecurity that comes up, and intimidating. That's the word that I was really feeling like. It's like that intimidating thing, especially to be seen in that regard. So if I'm seen in front of a class or a coach or whatever, like, and I know that I can just be like, hey, look at me, like, not so great. But it just helps me have so much compassion for those who are stepping into business, and it feels so scary and it feels so big. And I'm over here like 14 years later, like, hey, this is no big deal. Take these big risks. And so I have just a lot of compassion for how scary it is in the beginning. And also I'm a big believer in calling in the support. So for whatever big things that you're wanting to shift or change or grow or improve in your life this year, I just encourage you to step into it and get past those first few times that just feel so scary and so overwhelming, and know that it is going to get easier. Know that there will be a day that you're like, yeah, I feel so tough in this. I feel so badass. And, it won't happen right away, but it actually probably, doesn't take longer than you think. Like even, I do this great yoga at home, and every single time after every single yoga thing that I do at home, I'm just like, this is awesome. This is so doable and so possible. So my next step is to get out and find possibly a trainer here or a class that I love or something like that. And yeah, wishing you all the best on your quest for greatness this year as well. Let me know how I can support you if it has to do with you achieving your big dreams in your creative business. I love that. And so all the best to you. Again, this is Willow of willowlovesyou.com. Have a great day or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you soon.